So, started a tradition a couple years back. It was a way of recognizing people who had long terms of service. So we had this guy named Bob Simmons who played about 8 or 9 summers, then we thought he was going to be done. And I thought I'd do something special for Bob. You know, Bob and I had to kind of real close professionally here at camp. So I got him this paddle. I had all the staff sign it. And then a couple years later, it was a guy named Jamie Thibodeau and a woman named Robin, who basically got him to this 4-summer mark. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pull that paddle thing back out. That's pretty slick. And then after that, we started a tradition of anybody who did 4 summers at Oswegatchie underneath my tenure camp got a canoe paddle. So let me go down the list of names who received paddles in the last 15 years. Bob Simmons, Jamie Thibodeau, Robin Williams, Andrew Schwarting, Chip Axe, Karen Axe, Deanna Strait, Ken Zimmerman, Todd and Sherry Lighthall, Emily Dano, Julia Pulaski, Jessica Bagdovitz, Jamie Alloy, Amber Weinkoop, Kathleen McCarthy, Linda Leindecker, Chris Leindecker, Jerry Leindecker, Mo Lapine, Chris and Cindy Zetzes, Chad Wall, Spencer Starring, Evie Crum, Katie Meek, Stephanie Rhodes, Jenny Watson, Logan Rohr, Chelsea Cole, Keith MacArthur. I think that's the 29 people that we've given paddles to so far. We're gonna add 5 more names to this list tonight, and these are all people that I've known since they were about knee-high to a comic book. Okay? Molly Woodworth, come on up. Barani Crone.
Too excited.
Okay. Alexander Bagdovitz. Jacob Axe. And Rebecca Axe. Molly, step forward. Okay, paddle, signed by lots of people in all sorts of ways. Molly Woodworth, you know, she understands the why and the heart of camp. You know, she's, you know, a lot of times staff want to do a year or 2 of counseling and move on to other things. You know, Molly was a counselor, then we tricked her into being the environmental educator for a summer, and then she came back for 2 more summers as counselor, because that's what she, the part of the camp she loves. So Molly has a big heart, and she's gonna be wonderful whatever she does in the future. I know, well, you look at them like these guys have signed each other's paddles already, so you might see someone else's name that throws you off. It's Alex, you're next. Now, I have known Alex for a long time, and his older sister and brother. Interesting thing is his sister already has a paddle, and she's very proud of him, and she posted it on Facebook, of course. Anyways, Alex, you know, he first came in as kind of at the last second. Sister asked me to need a dishwasher, and Alex came in. It was great. And then he kind of came back in he was in the kitchen for a summer, and his dad said, that boy's got to be a counselor. But I let him be in the kitchen. And then the next 2 summers after that, we basically forced him to be a counselor. Because he's such a talented guy, I was ashamed to hide you in the kitchen. Not that hiding in the kitchen's a bad thing. Sometimes people should be up and out in front. So I was back to the same very much, sir. Veronica Crone. Now, Veronica is an incredibly intelligent, very smart person. And she is actually the newest full-time employee at Oswegatchie. And that is a major accomplishment because there's only been 5 of us really over the years. So she's so smart that I really hope we don't hold her back from much. Veronica's got a huge heart, a huge intellect. She absorbs things like a sponge, and she really wants what's the best for everybody. So for those who will be in camp for years to come, I hope you're here to be a part of Veronica's experience and make camp the best possible place it can be with her here too. So thank you very much. I didn't know Karen and Chip that well. I mean, like, weirder than that. But my first, like, cognitive memory, I was, like, etched on my memory, is that somehow I crossed paths with the Axe families at Wishies. Just before they worked here, and he was maybe 3, and he was just across Wishies and Krogan, and he'd go, "Hey, Bill!" It was like the prettiest little 3-year-old voice ever. Jacob, he had to wait this long to get a paddle because we really, you gotta be kind of on payroll for this criteria to kick in. But I worked out a mathematical formula for the numbers of summers you spend entirely here. I figured after 10 summers, it really does boil down to about 4 years of work. While you're here, we're gonna make you work no matter what, so, even if you're only 5. So, and he's also like an administrative training all this time because he's been telling people what to do for 10 years. He knows what to say that. I know. Yeah, very good. Jacob is a very sharp man. He has 2 excellent parents, very good role models, and I often tell him, probably a lot actually, I said, you listen to every single thing your father says, and everything he shows you, because you're going to have an unprecedented opportunity to learn from a father and learn a tremendous amount of excellent things. And he's got his mother's heart and passion. And some people describe it as fire. And this is the first year she really hasn't gotten upset by it. So I'll have to make it with a robot voice too. Rebecca. Well, Jacob's definitely got more of Karen's passion and fire. Becca has more of Chip's cool demeanor. It's like it switched genders and generations, just like that. I think Becca has a very intuitive knowledge of things, and she pays attention very quietly. While her brother might speak up and say something out loud about something, Becca is there listening and paying attention and learning. If you've been around much this summer and you watch Rebecca over at the horse farm, she's demonstrated a true talent, and to be a young, small person and not be intimidated by those horses on a daily basis is a pretty amazing thing. There's nothing but excellent things to expect from Becca Axe in the future. Thank you very much for being here, Becca. I've been wanting to write a poem for months to capture the essence of what it's like to be at Oswegatchie. Because, we've been going on here since 1946. There are people here today who might have been here 40 years or remember things like crystal clear from their past. And sometimes staff get upset and they're afraid they're going to be forgotten when they move on. And that's the reality of camp and life. Oswegatchie is a river, and the river moves and it changes every moment to moment. So one thing that might have happened in a river at one moment does tend to wash away and move aside. And that's a hard thing for people to deal with, but it's the nature of the place here. I often say Oswegatchie is a lifelong experience, so it doesn't have to be something that just disappears with the current. You can be here for lots and lots of things. for a long time to come. But let me read you my little poem here, which I only partly ripped off of Garth Brooks. Oswegatchie is a river, slow and winding as it goes, and as it churns the water, it changes as it flows. While your summers here may have felt short in hindsight, concentric rings that expand from your paddle go on in the hearts and minds of the people you've met. A river is never the same from moment to moment, and soon may feel forgotten as you move to new shores. But always remember you have a place to paddle, as Oswegatchie will always be yours. Thank you very much.